And welcome to Java Kickstart, which is a step-by-step beginner's guide to learning Java programming. And this series is going to be based on a textbook called Absolute Java, which is by Water Savitch. And so in this series, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to become confident with Java, which starting from zero experience all the way to writing your own programs and understanding key concepts like variables, loops, and even object-oriented programming. And so in this first video, we're going to discuss how to install Java and some different writing tools that you may want to use. And we're also going to start by writing your first program. So we're going to discuss how to name a Java file, introduce the main method, as well as an intro to the system.out.println function. We're going to cover is installing a JDK. And so to do that, you really just want to go into any web browser and just search up Java JDK. And that really just stands for Java Development Kit. And then you can go straight to Oracle. The newest one right now in 2025 is the Java 24, sorry. And so you can just download that depending on your operating system. So if you use Linux, they're all over here. Mac OS as well, Windows. I already have this installed, so I'm not going to do that, but if you want to pause the video and do that, you can just download, follow the on-screen instructions, and you should be good for from there. There's also a few different writing tools that you can use, or applications that will help you to write your code. And so one of them is BlueJ. The one I'm going to be using is IntelliJ IDEA. This one is a paid subscription, but it is a really good app. It's very powerful, and I would really recommend this one if you're able to. But there is also an education license as well. So if you do have that, then I would recommend using this one. BlueJ is very good for beginner users as well, but then there's also VS Code, and there's a lot of different ones you can use. But the IntelliJ is specifically for Java, so you can't do anything besides Java and Kotlin, obviously. And so if you're using IntelliJ, the first thing you'd want to do is start a new project. And you can really just name it anything. So I'm going to name it Java Kickstart. And then I have it in the location, which you can decide whichever one you want. And then I have IntelliJ. If you want to create a Git repository, that will just let you put that on GitHub, but that's not what I want to do, so we're just going to keep it like this. And I'm going to be using the 22 version. You could also download a new JDK, but this is the one that's on, so I'm just going to keep it at that. And then you can create a new project. And so immediately the first thing you're going to get is a main.java. This one, you should just go ahead and delete it because it's not really useful. So you want to go from refactor and then straight to safe delete. There you go. And then on the source right here, so you have Java Kickstart, and then you have .idea, source, git ignore, all of this. Everything really you ignore except the src, and then you just want to make a new Java class, and let's call it my first program, and just have it as a class, and then it'll open. And you'll notice that its file name is myfirstprogram.java, and the first line is public class myfirstprogram. And so say for example I were to change this to just first program, we're going to get an error because the name of the class, so class first program, should also be declared in a file named firstprogram.java. And so you need to make sure that your file name matches the public the class name, because if you change that or you copy it from somewhere or something like that, then you're going to have a little bit of an issue there. And so now that we have our first class, if you begin to type main, most will just end up giving you this. If not, you'd want to write public static void main, and then string, and then you want to have the two box brackets, and then args. And so this main method is what's going to be run when I hit the run myfirstprogram.java. And so when I run this, whatever is in the main, the method main here is what's going to run. And so for example, if I were to type something up here, for example, system dot out dot print, let's go x, you're going to notice it gives a mistake because it's not going, you're not able to run this. And so if we were to put that same thing down here, there's no error now. And so this is a good good transition into the next part of the lesson, in which it's introduction to printing something into the console, which you have three methods for that. So we have system.out.println, which is a new line, and then you also have system.out.print f, and then you can format it based on a few you can format this one. So within the scope of our series, we're not going to worry about printf, but print and println are two very important ones. And so the difference between print and println is println will type whatever you want, so it'll type x and then put it onto a new line. Print will just print it right onto that. So what's going to end up happening is the output of this is going to be xx, because I print and then I give it no new line, and then I have it right there, so it's going to be XX. However, if I were to put println here, and then just regular print, it'll show up on two different lines. And so the goal that you want to try is that you want to know print is not going to give you a new line, but println is going to. And so your first program, if you want to type whatever you want, let's say this is my first program. And in that case, it'll print this is my first program and on a new line next. And so let's go, for example, system.out.print hello world, or just even print, not even println. It'll come up on a new line. And yeah, so this is the main thing that I want out of the first lesson. In our next lesson, we're going to learn about different data types and stuff like that, in ways that we can store variables and information in our computer memory. And so thank you. We'll see you in the next video.